Hey everybody, this is Dr. William Clark from the Dr. William Clark Podcast. Glad to have you with us for another episode. Happy to be with you for this episode. This is a special episode because right behind my face here, if you're watching the video podcast, is a screen of a course I'm actually building real time entitled Sustaining Your Business Through Competitive Proposals. And it's a course that is going to be impactful for those of you that enroll, because I'm teaching you how to look at longevity and look at sustainability for your business by way of competitive proposals, RFPs, grants, etc. Now, some of you may be saying I already do that, but others of you may be saying two things. One, don't do that now. I need to get that into my repertoire and into our business revenue sources. But then two, we're already doing it, but we're not doing it enough, and we think there's opportunity to grow in terms of active income that we can generate for the business on a regular, reoccurring basis. And so when that course is live, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to encourage you to register for the course, join the course, access the course, be a part of the cohort that will be going through this learning process as we all grow and learn towards building sustainable businesses. Now, this particular episode, we're going to be talking about pricing for value and impact. Now, this is important. This is one of the topics that we'll be covering. I'm going to go into it in greater detail in the course, but I felt this particular piece of information would be helpful for the podcasting audience, because what I'm getting ready to share with you is the theory and the philosophy behind pricing for impact. And despite the tools that we could share and the systems and the different calculators that we could offer as examples and templates on how to do this, they absolutely mean nothing if you don't have this theory behind it, the intellectual strategy behind it to drive the decisions that you could and should make utilizing systems and tools that we will share with you in the course. So I want to share with you these 2 points here on the screen. This first point opens up by saying this. Alan Weiss, who's a noted author, consultant, and well-known figure in the consulting world, offers this thought, and this is a paraphrase of what he says and what he teaches. He teaches that you should charge or price your services based on value and not by the hour. So many of you who have a for-profit business, you're looking at pricing your services by the hour, and you're so consumed by pricing that way that you get caught up in delivering really lackluster proposals because you're so stuck on, I need to get my value, I need to get paid what I'm worth, I need to make sure I'm charging for this, that, and everything else. And quite frankly, you're missing everything by focusing on the hourly charge. Now, don't get me wrong. What we'll talk about in the course, and what you probably already know, is that some customers do want to know what you charge by the hour, because in their mind, they're thinking about, well, if we need less hours, how can we, save some money? Or if we need more hours because we underestimated the commitment needed for this project, how can we budget for expanded services? The truth behind all of this is it's really not about hours. Whether you're the customer or whether you're the provider, it really isn't about hours. It is at the core of it all about value and impact. What is it that the customer needs? Even if the needs are evolving and changing, how can you and your team have a significant impact on helping the customer realize the results that they are looking for? And how you do that is constantly looking at how can you add value. So this leads to the second point that you see here on the screen, and that is this: to find the value you offer. If you're going to try to dig into this and understand this from the perspective of your business and the perspective of your customers, you're going to have to identify the top revenue drivers of the business. This is if you've had the opportunity to look at what you've done in the past 12 months or longer. Identify the top revenue drivers of the business, offer those drivers, revenue drivers, to your customers and get better at it. And then here's the value. Here's the additional value. Stack the other services you offer after you've systematized them. That is so key. So you don't throw away services that aren't major revenue drivers just because they're not in the top 3 of your revenue drivers once you review your profit and loss statement. No. It's all about stacking now, because once you learn how to systematize the things that don't sell well so that they operate on demand, or they operate off a subscription, or they're evergreen, or you can offer them as a further learning opportunity for a customer, then when that systemization has taken place, you can then offer greater value. It's not about necessarily focusing on offering something that the customer will actually use. It's the comfort of mind, peace of mind, knowing as a customer, customers think this way, knowing that if I needed extra services that fall within these categories, I know that I can go to the person or the organization I just hired. It is about the peace of mind. Now, you will have times where customers say, I want to use that service, I want to tap into it. You got to be ready. You got to be ready and have those things ready to go. This is why you systematize those extra services that aren't driving revenue as great right now. And as with any company, organization, program, project, etc., there are going to be cycles. Everything you do has a cyclical nature to it. And so you don't want to throw those things away, because there might be a time where you have to come back to those things, offer those services again, and you might have to pick up where you left off. Or even if you have to add some stuff to it, you're not starting from ground zero, because you systematize it and you've improved it. Now, there's more to say about what we got to do as it relates to adding value, as it relates to charging for impact and charging for results and charging for value. But you have to have this mindset in place that you're not going to get sucked and down the rabbit hole of thinking that I have to charge by the hour. Now, there's part of the calculation process that you do go through that may include that. But regardless of where the calculation ends up and how you end up getting to the final pricing, I want you to start to think about greater value. I want to add greater value to my customers. I want to add greater value to the projects I'm a part of. I want to add greater value to my project partners or my equity partners. I want to add greater value to my community. I want to add greater value to my staff. I want to add greater value to everyone that touches our company or a product or service that we provide. And if you get into the mindset of nickel and diming everybody for your time because you're just too good to add value, or you're too good to contribute to the well-being of others or someone else's project or someone else's organization, then you lose sight of the mindset that we're talking about in this episode. And the mindset that matters more than anything else, more than the bottom line, more than the revenue you can generate, is the approach you take to adding value. This is really at the core of great customer service. And what you want is for people to feel and experience and live the value that you are seeking to communicate, so that when you're not selling, somebody is already selling on your behalf. They're already talking about you to their friends. They're already talking to you about what you've done for them. They're talking about the extra few moments you spent with them, coaching and teaching and sharing information. They're talking to others about the attachments that you sent, or the files that you sent, or the opportunities that you sent, or the referrals that you sent because you were thinking of them. Again, adding value. You want your current customers to think about you when they have new budgets coming out for new projects, and you want a non-competitive process to take place where they say, you know what, we want to work with you, and we don't even want to go public because we know you, we trust you, and we feel safe with you. We feel like our dollars are a safe investment with you because we've seen your work and we want to continue the relationship. Again, adding value. It can't be about the right now. It can't be about the immediate itch. It can't be about the immediate need. It's about adding value to the customer, because here it is. Watch this. The turnaround. The reinvestment into you will come. Obviously, there's something in it for you, but the mindset is, I got to serve first. I got to beat my customers in service. I got to beat my partners in service. I want to serve first. I want to contribute first. Not because I want to be seen as like this thing, but because I want people to know and feel the connection I have with them through the service I offer. I want them to know that I'm studying and strengthening my craft so that I can be better for the working relationship, for the project, for the customers that we're ultimately serving overall in our community, and those that we're serving on a national, international level. It's all about adding and contributing to the outcome and the bottom line. How can you strengthen that mindset? And how can you do more of that? And so when you start to look at pricing, and when we go over this in the course, and we start thinking about the actual tactics and strategies of actually putting a dollar amount behind your proposal and your responses to RFPs, you start to think about value more than anything else, and it is transformational. Now, in the meantime, while you're waiting for the course, I'm going to encourage you to go visit me at drwilliampclark.com. And if you want to schedule a consultation, talk with me about your project or your organization, and you want to talk through the competitive proposal process and how we could possibly help you along that journey, whether it's coming alongside with you during that journey and providing a service or coaching, I'll be glad to speak with you. Team members from my team will be glad to speak with you. We care about value. We want to contribute to your journey. So with that being said, go to drwilliampclark.com, schedule your free consultation, access the resources that we have there already that are there for you, both the resources that do require a payment and resources that are free. We have tons of resources that are free that are available to you. This podcast is free to use so that you can receive the value that we want to contribute to you on a regular basis. This is Dr. William Clark for the Dr. William Clark podcast. We love y'all. We'll see y'all in the next episode.